It's easy. You sprint for 15 minutes. That's all it is.
Hey guys, vegan cyclist. This is the Copertown Cat 2 only circuit race. By far one of my favorite circuit races just period. The pavement is amazing. It's very smooth. The course is very wide and super safe. It's very, very fast. You also get to come through this little town square. And so in between races, because I also did the P12s after this, you get to hang out in this neat little area. And it's just in the middle of the hills. It's fantastic. But I have teammates. I have 3 of them, Dustin, Shawn, and Ryan. So I'm just over the moon. I'm excited, but we haven't rode much together. We definitely haven't raced much together. So this race was kind of a feeling out process on how to race as a team. The other big team was A Main. You can see him on the left here. And those guys are really, really strong. They have had a lot of success in the Cat 2 field so far this year. So our goal is to get one of them and one of us up the road, and that should be a pretty good break. So that's the plan. And our teammates did a pretty good job of executing that. This guy right here is on the Echelon team. The Echelon team just sent a squad to Redlands. So any team that's being invited to Redlands, you're gonna have to watch out for them. They're gonna be strong. So the attacks in the beginning of the race were plenty. Everyone was very eager to get this race started. There is a move up the road, but my teammate Ryan is on the front and being attentive, so I don't really have to worry too much about covering this. I can just ride wheels, and that break is just way too early and there's not the right makeup. Guys are trying to make the bridge from the pack to that break, but all the guys that are doing that are usually right now just they're like individuals. They don't have a team. The guys that do have teams, they're not really that worried about it because it's not gonna work. You can see my teammate Ryan though. He is going up there kind of like dragging everyone towards it to make sure that it doesn't get a big gap. You can see him right here. There's 3 guys, but again, they don't have anyone important in them. They don't have the 2 big teams. There's our big team, there's A Main, and there's a bunch of other guys, but if there's not an A Main and there's not a Michael David in it, that's probably not gonna work, especially on this early on in the race. But so I go to the front because my teammate Ryan was just at the front. And now I do have to make this bridge because there's an A Main guy going up to that move. And if he makes it, then all of the obligation of chasing comes down onto my team, and I don't want to waste matches just chasing something down. So as long as the A Main's not there, everyone else is gonna, burn their matches. We just got to make sure we keep an eye on those guys. Right here, I roll my momentum. And I've talked about this before, and it's so easy to go from the back of the pack and roll past everyone when they're slowing down if you just kind of hold your momentum and hold your power. Now, right here is a pretty cool thing. There's an A-man guy right here on the front, and then there's a gap to his teammate. So I know that he's not gonna chase me because he wants me to join his teammate. I come up and I'm right on the back of him and I start yelling at him, hey man, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I let him know that I'm coming, so he gets on my back and we have a little break. I've raced with this guy in the past and he's super strong. So I sort of feel like maybe this could work. It is pretty early though. And so we sort of settled into a pace that we could sustain for the entire race. We did get another guy to go with us. And so we're sort of taking pulls, but they're not 100%. They're not full gas. We are really keeping something in the tank so that if we do get caught, we're not gonna get dropped. We come here through the town, and this is usually where you can make up a lot of time on a chasing group because the group is so big and they have to come through the town a little bit slower. And you can see the A-main guy just rocks it. But this new guy that came with us, a little bit uncomfortable on the bike, it looks like. So he sort of lets a gap open up and then we have to like surge to get back on. And I've got teammates, they're just hanging out in the back. A-man's got teammates hanging out in the back. So all the individual guys that didn't make this move, that don't have teammates, they're the ones that are having to work to pull this back. I see the group, they're right on us, so I start to fall back. Right as they catch us, they're all yelling at me, go, 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 big gap, big gap. And so everyone here's yelling at each other, go, let's go, we've got a gap. And this would be an awesome setup right here. It would be fantastic. I would be outnumbered by the A main guys because they had 3 here. But so no one really wanted to jump on the grenade. No one wanted to take the lead. It started to slow down and the pack caught on us. Now, my teammates were supposed to counter, and maybe they were in the back and not in a good position, but I had to go again. I cannot let our breakaway that made everyone chase go for nothing. So now everyone is tired. No one wants to, because they just chased. So this is the perfect time for an attack. Now it shouldn't have been me, it should have been one of my teammates, but whatever, I'm gonna go. I feel strong, and I was a little more optimistic than maybe I should have been. So I do get off the front, I go solo, and I got a pretty good gap. I actually ended up doing my best 20-minute power so far this year during the race in this break. You can see the pack here coming after me, big group of guys, and I got 3 teammates in there. So I can really kind of throw myself into the wind here and force the other big team to chase and all the other guys to chase. And if they don't chase, well then I'm set, right? I come through the town and there were a few people that were fans of the VC and they were cheering for me, and I just can't tell you how good it made me feel. It definitely added like an extra 30 watts to my FTP. Hearing people cheer for me, I felt so much like a pro coming in with a big gap. But I did get caught because that A main team, they can't let me just ride away, and because they're the other big team. And so we do have a gap here, and I tell them, look, you guys can keep racing. You know, if we establish a bigger gap, I will work, but I'm tired. I'm just gonna sit on the back here for a little bit and recover. I'll definitely work, but I don't wanna drill myself even after I've just drilled myself. I was off the front for almost like 15 minutes by myself, and then I was off the front, in the first break for about 5 or 10 minutes as well. We immediately hit this little hill, and I'm telling my teammate Ryan, dude, you have to go. You got to get to the front. You need to be there when this pace slows. Now right here, it starts to slow, and I thought, I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go again. But then my teammate Dustin and an A main guy, they went. So you could see them right up on the front. We come through this tight little section where you really got to keep your momentum. My teammate Ryan, right here in front of us, he went to the front and ended up actually bridging or attempting to bridge right as we got over this hill to the front group, to that break. So there was a Michael David and an A main, my teammate and an A main guy off the front. Then my teammate tried to bridge, and so I'm sitting on wheels to try to discourage anyone from bringing that back. This guy, he's kind of got like alarms going off in his head because he can kind of tell that now the 2 biggest teams in the group have guys off the front and they're sitting at the front. So we're starting to control the race. You can see the bridge right there. That's my teammate and one other guy trying to get up to the A main and my other guy. So 2 up front, 2 chasing, then the pack. And again, like I said, this guy is just, he knows the writing's on the wall. If he can't make that bridge, that's probably going to be the race. And you can see on cue, A main and myself are using perfect team tactics by just sitting on this guy's wheel and discouraging from chasing. Because when he looks back and he sees both of us just sitting there, he's not going to roast his legs for nothing, bringing the whole pack. So now I've got 2 guys up the road. One I hope bridged, because if he did, that would be perfect. And so I go to the front. I could be sitting on the back, but I really feel like we have a good chance on doing something good. And on cue, Shawn Remy, also Michael David, comes to the front. And this is the last lap. We don't have much racing left to go. And so we have 2 guys up the road. We need to be patrolling the front. We need to try to hold a pace that isn't just completely lollygagging, but isn't obviously taking time out of the break. The rest of the guys here are not having it. They're starting to attack. They're starting to send guys off the front. hoping that maybe everyone's really tired and that they can try to bring that back, because for a lot of guys here, the race is pretty much almost over. Now, this guy goes to the front, and I'm just hanging on his wheel, and I sort of think that he thought that my teammate, who did not make the bridge, he blew up, said his heart was like being weird, and so he's thinking, or at least what I think, is that he's gonna catch the break right now, but that's not the break. These two guys that are up the road, you can see them right here, those are the chase that never got on to my teammate and the A main guy. So there's still two off the front. This guy's drilling it, and I'll sit on your wheel all day long, and then he's gonna kind of flick a shoulder, say, hey, go, but it's just me. Now, that's my teammate, Ryan. Man, if he had made it, that would have been the move. We would have had 2-on-1. Ryan's our sprinter, but so now we're down a guy because he gets flicked for whatever reason. His fitness wasn't there, and now the race is getting really, really fast here at the end. And the break, my teammate and the other guy are just right there. They're dangling off the front. You can see them just up the road. They have like 5 seconds. They're not that far away. So I'm sort of in like this weird situation because now we don't have a sprinter if it gets caught. Shawn, our other guy, has been wasted his legs covering my 2 breaks and also this break. So I'm sort of thinking, well, I'm not going to out sprint guys because there's been a lot of guys that haven't done anything in this race and they're strong sprinters. So I'm not going to really be able to contest much there. So my plan was to get to the front and try to make a late bridge in the last 1K, which we're pretty much in the last like mile right now. And this JBL guy, dude, he's such a strong sprinter and he's done nothing this whole race. So I can't just hang out because he's going to beat me. So I start to look up the road and think about a good time to try to jump from the group to the break and then come around them for the win. And that was my opportunity. That plan would have worked. I hesitated. I got a little bit sidetracked in thinking that, am I bringing my teammate back? Because I don't want to bring my teammate back. But so we're just smashing up this hill. We have like 500 meters to go. Like we're under 1K to go. And I just pin it over the top and you can see them right there. They're just right there. And I could make it. If I had just committed, I could have jumped to them and came around them and gotten top 3. But right when I passed the other guy, A main, he's yelling, don't let him go, don't let him go, don't let him go. And so then I'm such in a weird position. Do I let them go? Am I bringing them back? I just totally botched it. I ruined the race here because, for one, I think that I sort of helped bring them back and I didn't make the bridge, right? I just hesitated and I messed up big time. The sprint's going off here and I kind of got caught behind a guy who, you know, he was in the break with me and we're not sprinting for 15th. But so here's what's crazy is that the break succeeded and everyone came across the line at like the same moment. And the guy who was in the front won. So the guy in the break won and my teammate got 5th. But I totally had it in me to make that bridge. I should have done it next time. Guys, thank you so much. Vegan Cyclist. Yeah.